pouring down rain today in southeast Texas. Of course, we would go weeks without rain and then get all the rain for the entire summer in a couple of weeks. Look at this. This is our cucumber that I'm always showing off, my dark cucumber. There it is. Look at that. That will be my official second cucumber this season. Just covered. This is just 2 plants. This is one. This is the other. See our squash. These squash flowers right here, guys, those are edible. I coat them in pancake batter and just cook them in our miniature pancake or waffle maker, and it's just like fried squash, but so much better. It definitely has a strong squash flavor and texture. Look at this. Our Jerusalem sage. Our Goji Berry. It is just taking over. See all my IBC container projects back there. This is my cracky method. IBC, you can see I have it covered because it is, is it raining? Pretty good. Don't want to flood out those little air roots. Our ducks are hiding in their pen. Man, everything is a mess. Everything's so muddy and just so beautiful though. It's our Carolina Jasmine growing on here. I hope that it kind of grows up this angel and takes over this entire fence. Isn't that beautiful? This was a lawn ornament of my husband's grandmother's, and I've seen it in their yard since every Christmas since I was a young teenager. So it's a real honor to be able to have it in our garden. It brings so much joy to see her every day, and to our boys. It was my 9-year-old's idea to bring her home. All that mint growing. Look at this red clover. It's my first time growing it. I bought a 2000 seed pack from Baker's Creek, and I'm just gonna let it seed. It's actually a legume, so it's gonna fix a lot of nitrogen back into the soil. After we laid all of this mulch down, there was just nothing. It was bare. Before the mulch, it was a muddy mess that couldn't grow anything. Now the mulch has really revived everything over here. It's actually the play area. You can see the dirty slides. Here's some of our banana plants. The mother plant died off this winter. It froze and then rotted, and maggots got inside of it. So it did not make it. Here's our playground. It's all repurposed material. It's a lot of fun. Grapevine. Muscadine cross there. Our blackberries. Beautiful sound of frogs and nature in the background. Our dill. Season of changes among us. Our winter crops and spring crops are making way for our beautiful summer tomatoes, squash, peppers. This is our lettuce, one of our tomatoes. More seeding lettuces. Sweet 100. Our beautiful scarlet kale. More lettuce. Baby dill. My favorite, my yellow tomato. Look at that. I think it's gonna be that's gonna be a good 8-ounce tomato there. These Romas. As far as my Roma tomatoes go, I am absolutely not going to take the little armpits off of these tomatoes because it is a determinate tomato. It will produce all its fruit now. It will pretty much... If I start taking off the branches of this, then it's just not going to produce very much. So I'm just going to let it grow and take what it ripens. No big deal. Chamomile reseeding. You can see some of our kales and rutabaga still stuck there from winter. Another lettuce. My beautiful patty pan squash. This one's a sunny delight. Another one. Strawberries. Tomato. Some more strawberries. Tabasco peppers are just about ready. Look at that. They don't get very big. So I'm definitely going to soak those in some white vinegar. And that's going to be really amazing. I love Tabasco. Peppers just with some vinegar. Nothing special. It's nothing like doing it yourself. This is my first time actually growing my own Tabasco peppers. So I'm pretty thrilled. Holding an umbrella, trying not just to get water on my phone. My phone keeps tapping out even with an umbrella. Even it knows we should be drinking coffee or tea and relaxing in the rain. That's okay. This is one of my young figs. Right here it actually broke and no leaves are producing, and I used some plumber's tape and just wrapped it up, and the leaves are producing and it's almost healed. Here in a couple weeks I'll kind of show you what that looks like. I'm pretty excited. This is a Gala Apple. We went so long without water, and I severely underestimated the amount of water that a Gala apple needs, which is my mistake. Now I know, and I will be watering it accordingly. Our recently acquired Blaze Prince peach tree has a lot of yellowing. I don't know very much about peach trees, so I will definitely be looking it up, watching some videos, trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing wrong, because I'm definitely not doing something right. We have several young figs that were kind of rescue figs. Up here, I need to mulch down this grass, build up this bed. I'm amazed that they made it. My husband took them out with a lawnmower 3 or 4 times last year, so I moved them up front, and surprisingly they're actually still alive and doing well. I'm really excited about that. My hair's getting in my mouth. Here's some of my blueberry plants. I need to sprinkle acidifier on them. This one, I caught my local dog urinating on it. Never seen the dog before, so unfortunately I didn't make it. This one's doing pretty good though. Look at that. These blueberries will actually get much larger. I made the mistake of leaving blueberries on, and this is my first year planting them, and so they took some pretty good damage, as you can see. I just didn't know what I was doing. I was told to wait 3 months to fertilize them and make the soil more acidic, and our soil is clay, so that was not a good idea. I did mix the soil it came in with the blueberries into the ground, but that was not enough. So I'm going to add some acidifier, and hopefully everyone else learns from my mistakes. I'll be putting some drip irrigation on these blueberries because they cannot survive going weeks without water, or even with just me watering them every day. It's not enough. Not with their little bitty roots. Look at this. It's another one of my apple trees. A Jerusalem apple. All of this right down there is growth. I keep trimming it off. I believe that's coming from below the graft, or even close to the graft, and that is a big no-no. Have a squash growing in here. Some pineapple mint. I know some people like pineapple mint. To me, it was like God said, hey, let's make a mint that tastes like orange juice and toothpaste and see what gardeners think about that. It's not fun trying it for the first time, and I haven't eaten it or saved it since. It's just kind of there. I tell people all the time when they come over to my garden, I'm like, oh, don't eat that mint, it's gross. Pineapple mint, it tastes like orange juice and toothpaste, and everyone eats it. Everyone wants to try it, and then they're like, oh my gosh, you're right, it does. Yes, I know, guys. It's gross. Loquat tree. All of the green on top is kind of our new growth. See our water hose hanging out here. It's where we have everything connected to automatically water the garden. There's another loquat. We have 4 blackberries over here growing. These are the ones that we put compost in, but not acidifier. You can see there's not a ton of new growth like the other ones. So it's definitely going to happen. We're going to put some microlife on it. The new growth is what produces this year's berry. And so the old growth will produce berries and we'll cut them back. The new growth will produce fall berries and those will get cut back, and then it will grow some more and produce for next year's berries. There's a ripe one. Another grapevine. Kale. Little chive. Our Swiss chard. Rosemary. Volunteer tomatillos. Once you plant them, they're there. Just a fair warning. Tomatillos are the weed that never goes away. We love them though. Another pepper. Look at this. This is one of my favorite plants. It tastes like dill pickle, or like the sourness of clover. It is sorrel, so whenever I want some fresh pickle taste, I just come out here and cut it, and I'll put it in anything I want pickles in, such as tuna fish salad. But I tried dehydrating it, and it was not good. It was like eating crunchy brown leaves from my oak tree. Yucky. Don't ask me how I know what that's like. Everyone was a kid once, right? Look at this. I've showed these off. It's really hard to be heard with my soft voice over this Texas rain and thunder. Look at that. How many bulbs are on this? I can't tell you how many times I've shown off. I have harvested and harvested this beautiful fennel. It's a Florence fennel, so it can all be used. My favorite is to cook it, cut it into 1-inch pieces and cook it in some sugar syrup, and then dehydrate it and make it into a natural tasting, or a natural licorice tasting candy. It's really awesome. My spicy Italian oregano turns out to be one of the only things that the chemical compounds in fennel does not kill off. This is my son's garden bed. We have chives all in it. Some beautiful flowers. He picked all these out himself. Some lemon flavored thyme. It does need to be weeded, but over time the thyme plants will kind of spread out a little bit and cover it to keep it moist and help protect against weeds. Our chocolate mint. It really does smell like an Andes mint, guys. Our broccoli we let go to flower. How beautiful is this? I always have the worst time remembering its exact name. But it smells so sweet, but it is not edible. It's Virginia something. My daisy right there, it's a Gerber daisy. All of my beautiful flowers, wildflowers, swamp flowers, they've just been taking a beating in this rain. So I think it's time that some of them just got cut. My mint has taken over. My chamomile. This black hose down the center of the garden, that's our watering line, so it's our drip irrigation. Look at this, my bee balm. It said bee balm when I got it. I'm waiting for it to flower because I'm telling you what, it looks a lot like catnip to me. Some more time. A lot of these plants are perennials. My squash not looking good at all. Another pepper. Cabbage start. I bought in February. I thought it was going to bolt and it still hasn't. So now I'm just kind of waiting to see how long it'll last. My artichoke. Gypsy pepper. I actually have no idea what these look like. It's my first time growing them. And I have not looked it up, even though I bought the pepper several weeks ago. A Brussels sprout. I thought I pulled all these out, but I discovered this guy when I cleared out all of this space this week. It used to be cilantro and went to seed, and I'm saving the seed for both spices and for next year, or really for this fall. So we have all this space. I'm not sure what to plant yet, but I have tons of seed. So that'll be exciting. There's some more pepper plants. These are all California Wonder peppers. Guys, this is the rose from my profile picture. My beautiful, beautiful peach rose. If you don't know, roses are edible, so these flower heads can be used, and so can the seed heads for perfumes, for jellies, for tea. Be advised, whatever that rose smells like is what that tea is going to taste like. Look at those banana peppers. First time ever growing them. It was my son's choice, and one of the best decisions I've made. All these random green spriggers are what are left of our carrots. We grew over 6,000 carrots in the last 6 months. Some were fall crop, some were early spring crop. I got gallons of sliced carrots in my freezer. I am beyond excited. This is compost. It's mushroom compost, and it's open to the native clay soil here. So don't think because you have clay soil you can't grow carrots. The mushroom compost has really compacted, and now it's only 3 or 4 inches deep, and it's enriched our clay soil. So you definitely can if I can. Not to mention, in mid-May it was already reaching the mid-90s. So we went ahead and... My camera keeps pausing. Okay. Look at that loquat tree. All that's new growth on it. And way over here, I actually have an olive tree. I'm pretty excited about this tree. I'm still learning. I really am. It looks like it needs a little bit of care. It's really not big on a ridiculous amount of rain, it looks like. It's our second year growing it. When I got it, it was just a straight little stick with very little. I did a very small YouTube video about a Texas storm and an olive tree, and this baby was the olive tree in it. So I'm pretty proud of how far it's come. There's some mint growing on this old stump. We have our little Crepe Myrtle here. When I first started gardening, I didn't realize the importance of flowering plants and shrubs and having a mixed garden. And so I tried to take out my Crepe Myrtle, and thank goodness that it doesn't die, and it has an amazing taproot, and it's come back, and I won't be making that mistake again. All these baby tallow trees, however, have to go. These flowers just kind of popped up on their own. They reseeded from last year. And this baby right here is my crab apple tree. It produces little tiny crab apples, which are edible. They're also a great cross-pollinator for all my other apples. And my personal favorite, they make excellent pectin. We have a lot more going on here. Yes. In the back, we have some cucumbers. We have some projects that we started. We have this little fig tree. I recently acquired a Milo Satsuma tree, and I have no idea how to grow citrus. I've never grown it. It's supposed to be easy, so updates on that to come. I've kind of been doing my own YouTube and Texas A&M research, and also trying to find growers that grow more like me and don't like to use a large and heavy amount of fertilizer. There's some menthol mixed into here. So hopefully I'll figure it out and it'll grow okay. This has mint. And this I plant in the clay soil. This is also sorrel. This is also a sorrel plant, and I planted in the clay, and it's doing amazing. They grow really well in poor soil, so if you like that kind of sour, tangy taste of a clover, then this is really a really great thing to grow, a really fun crop. And when you cook it into things, it almost tastes like lemon. I eat it raw a lot of the time, but I do like the lemony flavor of it. So guys, that's it. This is just my little garden tour, nothing big or fancy. It's just raining in Texas right now, and there's not a whole lot that can be done. So I hope you learned something. I hope you just kind of got to enjoy seeing everything. Until next time.